everyone, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today is kind of a special episode. In front of me is not a generic Lego set. It didn't come from the company Lego, but inside are actual Lego, and it comes with an instruction manual, and it's going to build me an actual set. It's just from Moc Nation. This is a relatively new company that operates in a way similar to how LEGO Ideas works. People can submit their creations, or MOCs, an acronym for my own creation, and the designers at Moc Nation will create an instruction manual, they'll part down the pieces and turn it into an actual set. Royalties are given to the original creator of the design, and everyday people get the chance to buy a LEGO set that is truly unique. Okay, that was a quick little overview as to why I've got this brown box with the big blue sticker on in front of me, and now I don't really want to wait any longer. I just want to see what's inside. So we just went from a brown box with a giant blue sticker to two very nice high quality looking bags. They each have a sticker on the upper left corner that indicates both the set and the number bag that's supposed to be opened. And I gotta say, these bags are very high quality, they feel tough, and they're even resealable. Alright, thanks for the set, guys. Now I'm gonna get building. Just kidding, we're gonna build in 1 second. I just wanna show off some of the cool stuff that came in the first bag. Inside, there is a small bag with some small pieces, a medium-sized bag, actually it's pretty big with some big pieces, and a very, very large bag with basically the rest. This is a really cool manual. I wanna talk about how the instructions differ at the end of the episode. I think that'll be an interesting point. And there's also a sticker as well as a card for some social media. Now let's get the build started. So here it is, the Red Fox designed by Felix Jentsch from Germany. First off, I don't feel like I bought a Lego set, but more like I got the materials and instructions to build somebody else's work of art. This fox looks incredible, and the first thing I noticed right off the bat is that it looks really good from all angles. I have a feeling this red fox will be primarily used for display, and there is no quote-unquote good side to the red fox, but instead it just looks great anywhere you look. Now, I've always been a fan of builds that can capture a moment of movement very accurately and very realistically, and with this build you really get a feeling of intensity and sort of intent from the fox. There are a few main contributing factors as to why the fox looks so ready for action, and I think the first aspect of the build that really bring it to life are the builds for the crouched legs. They're positioned in a way that really makes it look like this animal is on the prowl or just about to start running after something else, and the color choices also are very nice here. Not only is it accurate to how foxes look in real life, but it also just serves to break up the look of the build just a little bit more. The same can be said for having a lot of nice light tan on the sides of the fox, as well as the bit of brown on the top of the tail, and of course the white tip. Too much or too little of these little color changes could have thrown off the look of the fox, but right here there's a nice balance. And of course, aside from the shape and coloration of the body, the build for the head is incredible. According to the interview with the builder Felix, he says that he starts with the eyes and works from there. And when you take a closer look at the head of the fox, I think you can tell. There's a great transition between the thin snout of the fox and the furry cheeks, and then the head gets a little bit more narrow towards the top, and we've got two very nice big fluffy ears. There's a bunch of great subtle color changes, and once again, it just looks good from all angles. Alright, so I think the fox looks good. I think we've established that. I'd also like to mention that this build is pretty darn sturdy. You can flip the whole thing over, and the ears don't break off, and the tail fits on very well. There is quite a few pieces on the tail, and I was a little bit afraid about that, especially considering there's no Technic pieces on the interior. This thing is primarily held together by 2x4s, and I feel very comfortable just picking the fox up and moving it around anywhere I like. I think it was designed, however, to be transported easily. The tail, legs, and head fit on very nicely, but can also be removed relatively easily and intact. This way, if you wanted to pack it up for like a trip or a move or something, you wouldn't have to take this whole thing apart or worry about the smaller pieces breaking off sort of at random. Now, speaking of breaking off at random, I'd like to get into the build process really quick. This was set at the skill level number 5. This is on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most difficult, and I realized that pretty early on in the build. You never really see this sort of blocky style of building in a Lego set, and that is because this is not a particularly easy way to build. Granted, once the base for the body was set, it went a lot quicker, but creating the foundation for the sort of angular block style build that we have takes a lot of patience and a very careful way of applying one Lego on top of another. You don't hear too many clicks and snaps, but instead you're slowly but surely squeezing pieces together, trying not to bust out other sections of the build. One thing I did find really helpful during this process though is the setup for the manual. It does not hold your hand the same way a Lego set manual would, and usually several parts are added all in one step. But because of this, you're sort of forced to look at the parts box a lot more carefully and really make sure you get every single piece in during every single step, which when you're building a regular Lego set, you can sometimes get into cruising mode, and that's often where you make the mistake of leaving parts out. Bottom line is the manual sort of forces yourself to build on a slightly higher level, and it kind of cuts down on the sort of silly mistakes that you might normally make. That being said, you really don't want to be making mistakes like leaving pieces out. There were 0 extra pieces left in this set. You have to put every single part into the fox. For a set that doesn't have a massive part count, it's just under 650 pieces. I gotta say I was truly challenged, and that in my book is definitely a good thing. I'm not sure yet where I want to put this red fox. Part of me just wants to keep it on my desk because it looks so nice, but perhaps it should be in a more open area where more people can appreciate it. Anyways, if you're looking for a more eye-catching bit of Lego and are up for a tougher challenge, then I think the red fox might be for you. Okay, that is it for this episode, and thanks again, Moc Nation, for sending over the Red Fox set. We really do appreciate it here at BrickVault. And if you guys want to buy the set or check out any of the other Moc Nation sets, there's new ones popping up on the website all the time. I will leave a link in the video description below. Remember, that is mocnation.com. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time at BrickVault.